Do you miss playing Dungeons & Dragons, or just have a hard time finding a group in your hometown? By integrating Discord and D&D Beyond, you can create a character from 1st to 15th level, and then roleplay 24/7 in our Discord channels, while combating monsters, crafting weapons, training new skills, and searching for items across our campaign world. You'll also have the chance to participate in random combat encounters and go on monthly virtual quests. As a community DM, you can run encounters and virtual quests for the community based on monthly modules written by our very own accomplished plot team. Join us.
Join us.
Check it out.
Join the Discord.
Join us!
Join us.
And let's create incredible stories together.
Is money really worth all this?
It's not about the credits. I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
I bet you have.
You're not getting the drop on the villains with sounds like that. Your game needs Sirenscape. The Sirenscape online player has a huge library of epic sounds for any situation. Epic games need epic sound. Go to Sirenscape.com to get started today.
Get your customized jersey from MithrilArmory.com, proud sponsor of Champions of the Realm.
Seeing maps and line of sight with the characters moving is a game changer, literally.
The mind-blowing tech that's built into it, not having to use proprietary things, is great because you can have a 3D printer, you can make your own stuff, you can bring your own things to it, and you can still use it with all the stuff you have at home already, but make it even better.
I've literally tried something with this with just like a TV flat with my computer plugged in, and it was just like such a hassle hiding the map. You just look at this and it's there. It's very awesome.
It's time!
Hey everybody, I'm Becca Scott.
And I'm Urijah Faber here from Champions of the Realm.
That's right. This is going to be another epic day of D&D. We have incredible D&D players. They're going to be going for 5 rounds of combat, and there is a total of 7 bouts between all of the competitors, all to name just one champion of the realms.
We've got some amazing matchups. Let's check them out.
I've been playing Dungeons & Dragons since Fiend Folio was a new release, so since the early 80s. I've been at this for quite a while. It's pure nerdery, and it is certainly a pool that I enjoy swimming in.
It's hard to count when I started playing Dungeons & Dragons, but it actually was more recently than a lot of my peers, and I only played on stream. Never rolled a physical die, always rolled digital dice for the first 3 or 4 years that I was playing. Now I have plenty of physical dice, as the problem hits us all. But yeah, so I guess I started playing probably about 8 years ago. It feels like it's such a part of my life that I can't believe it was that recently, if you will.
I'm very glad that I took the tough feat, because I think I'm going to need every single hit point I have. I'm going up against a paladin. I'm a sorcerer. It's not going to go well.
Usually when I'm getting ready for a game with Evelyn, it's mostly about what are some of the fun stories I can tell. You know, I can speak to animals, I can persuade people, I can do funny things, you know, to entertain an audience. So the PvP aspect is totally new, and it's been really fun to take a look at Evelyn and say, okay, if she was really just trying to prepare to fight, what would I take? And I feel like it's helped me understand the character a lot better. I've never been much of a min-maxer, but I've always just kind of been confident in Evelyn's tanky ability to take whatever anything throws at her. So taking that and then on top of it having put an element of strategy has been really fun.
Paladins are very good at making saving throws, and I'm a spellcaster, so her failing saving throws would really work well for my battle strategy. We'll see if the dice cooperate.
When I first started thinking about playing versus a sorcerer, my thoughts were like, okay, how do I maybe incapacitate them, lock them down right away? What are some fancy things I can do to buff myself, to make myself harder to hit with spell damage? But the more and more I thought about it, if we have 3 to 5 rounds, I'm a paladin, I have lots of hit points, sorcerer probably doesn't have quite as many. My strategy became, how do I hit as hard as I can, as fast as I can? And then with Evelyn especially, most of her spells are bonus actions that have to do with if you hit someone, then this other thing happens. So most of my strategy revolves around just trying to hit as much as I can, and then if I do, add some other fun spell stuff on top.
I'm playing for Make-A-Wish. I've actually done some work for Make-A-Wish in the past. Often people who've been working with the Make-A-Wish Foundation come up to BioWare for a tour of the studio, and they often ask for me as a guide, and I'm only too happy to go along.
Most of the time when I play for charity, it's for large charities that are doing amazing big things, but since I got to choose any charity I wanted this time, I have a very small little dog rescue in Vernonia, Oregon, from which I got my Pomeranian Nizki, so I'm playing for a Displaced Pets Rescue.
Seeing maps and line of sight with the characters moving is a game changer, literally.
The mind-blowing tech that's built into it, not having to use proprietary things, is great because you can have a 3D printer, you can make your own stuff, you can bring your own things to it, and you can still use it with all the stuff you have at home already, but make it even better.
I've literally tried something with this with just like a TV flat with my computer plugged in, and it was just like such a hassle hiding the map. You just look at this and it's there. It's very awesome.
These walk-ins brought to you by Mithril Armory, the official gear sponsor of Champions of the Realm.
All right, today in our feature match area, we have Evelyn, who, despite the name, is not at all evil. She is a paladin.
And paladins are spiritual, holy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's
good
got
people.
The divinity on her side. She's also a tank. She's got a lot of hit points and even more with lay on hands.
When I think tank, when we say tank in the fight game, that means somebody that can run through walls. Is that what we're dealing with here?
I think that Evelyn could probably run through a wall, yes.
All right, well, let's find out.
Ooh, coming up now, we have Baloth. This drow sorcerer is kind of a bad dude.
Yeah, and I feel like it's good versus evil here. I mean, if you look at the
What
even
gave
the
it away?
demeanor, even the demeanor is kind of a dead giveaway. And look at his backup, man. When someone travels with a blue face backup, that's danger.
That's danger and trouble right there. And with all of his sorcerer points, he can do meta magic moves that Evelyn may not see coming.
The tank mentality is not going to help with sorcery moves.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. This match is brought to you by RealmSmith and sponsored by Dungeons and Dragons and Untitled Champions of the Forgotten Realm. When the action begins, our Dungeon Master will be Jason Azevedo! Introducing first, portrayed by Meer and playing for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, standing at 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighing in at 145 pounds. He's a drow sorcerer, fighting out of the Underdark, presenting Master of the Mystical Arts and legendary entertainer, Baloth! Their opponent, portrayed by Anna Prosser, and playing for Displaced Pets Rescue, standing at 5 feet tall and weighing in at 130 pounds. She's a human paladin of Lathander and a founding member of the Waffle Crew, fighting out of Amphail, presenting everyone's favorite ray of sunshine, Evil In.
All right, we've gone over the rules. 5 rounds in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition combat. Conditions reset, effects carry over. You can spend hit dice between rounds. Evelyn, are you ready?
You bet I am.
Baloth, are you ready?
I was born ready.
Let's roll initiative.
This tale of the tape is brought to you by Forged Gaming.
This is Baloth, our dark elf drow sorcerer, level 8, with a low AC of 15, but a powerful 74 hit points. He has a +6 to Constitution saving throws and +7 to Charisma saving throws. Look up as he rides his flying broom on by. Let's introduce you to Evelyn. She's a human paladin level 8 with a powerful battle axe, an even more powerful deity. She has an armor class of 18, a massive 84 hit points, and insanely high saving throw modifiers across the board, including a +11 to charisma.
You've been magically transported. You don't necessarily know why, but the familiar smells, sounds, feeling that you get in the place and location that you are right now is clearly Waterdeep. You do sense, though, that within an 80-foot area that there are shimmering, semi-translucent walls, impenetrable evocation magic that has confined you to the space that you are currently in. You are very aware, and you know that the only way to get out of here is to be a victor and to defeat your opponent. Please both roll initiative, and then we'll go from there.
Total 10.
10. Good start.
13 for me.
Better start. Evelyn, when the action starts, you will go first. Let's go to round 1. Evelyn, it is your turn. As Baloth looks across the road in this short area, small area of Waterdeep, what does he see?
Evelyn's waving. Hello, Mr. Baloth. Thank you for letting me audition. I promise I'll do my best.
Yes, welcome, Evelyn. I, of course, am the purveyor of the most gruesome gladiatorial combat the Underdark has to offer, owner and operator of the Black Pits, entrepreneur and impresario Baloth Baratil, and I would be delighted to see what you bring to the table.
Well, I know that I can bring the shining light of the Morning Lord to anywhere I go, and I pray that he will help me show you how well I can also smash stuff.
Yes, and it looks like the thing you'll be smashing and or smiting is my own good self. I'm going to try to not make it easy for you.
All right. Evelyn's going to begin her approach. So her flying speed and her walking speed are the same. So she's going to go ahead and head all the way over here and hop up on this rock.
Okay, great. Right on. So that is your movement. Go ahead. You have an action.
Well, everything I do depends on hitting someone in melee. So I think she actually, as much as I hate to do this in competition, I think she's going to hold action.
Okay.
And maybe until she's in melee range would be the
Okay.
trigger.
That is Evelyn's turn. Bailoff, it's your turn.
Well, as it happens, I can also fly, thanks to the broom of flying that I am standing astride, riding it somewhat like a snowboard. I have a move of 50, so I will likewise get myself over to high ground. I believe I can get up to here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Bailoff, you've made your movement. You're up top. You've gained some high ground. You were both looking across the street at each other. What do you do?
Now then, for my bonus action, existence itself seems to ripple. Reality is rent, and through this tear pours shadow stuff, directly beside Evelyn. As my hound of ill omen, Marmaduke, or should I say Marmadark, manifests. He, of course, will attack.
And what is the range in which you can bring him to be?
Within 120 feet.
Okay, that is enough. And is that where you'd like him to be? Can you see that?
Yes, right in melee range.
Okay.
We'll hold on to Marmadark's attack, but in the meantime, Bailoff will use his action. That was a bonus action, by the way, to summon Marmadark.
Yep. I
believe Rolothim's Psychic Lance will activate, striking the lovely Evelyn. That will be a Intelligence 15 save.
Evelyn does have +4 to all saving throws. That's going to be an 18 plus 4 is 22 plus, what was it, intelligence?
It is an intelligence save.
I think that means that's a 22.
Yep.
However, because Marmadark is within your range, you will be making this save at disadvantage.
Fancy. 16.
16? You make it. You will only take half of this damage.
And it's magical, correct?
Magical? It is
Magical
a spell,
damage,
yes.
Because I have resistance to spell damage.
Okay.
How does that add up with my already taking half damage?
You would take half of the half.
Very well.
Yep.
So that will be 26 points of damage.
Wow.
And then cut in half, so 13.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Okay. As Marmadark, as Marmadark appears, Evelyn, I'm going to allow you to use your held action to attack in melee. And even though it wasn't Bailoff, I imagine Evelyn, being as adept as she is, would be able to realize that something has just, and you can, if you would like to use it for this.
I absolutely would.
Okay.
Bad puppy. That is going to be 15 to hit with the battle axe.
That hits.
All right, and the damage for that will be 1d10 plus 7. 7 plus 7, 14. And on my turn, I can attack twice if I use the attack action. So since this is my held action, I can attack again, right?
Absolutely.
So 14 plus, that would be a 29 to hit. So I think that'll work.
That hits.
And that will do an additional 8 damage. So a
Very
total
well.
of
22
22.
total.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Taking Evelyn's blows in stride, Marmadark will strike back, of course. He will be getting a +5 to hit with his bite. That is a total of 23.
That will hit.
Very well.
Bad puppy. No. Sit. Stay. Down.
And his damage will be 2d6 plus 3, piercing. 11 points. 11 points of piercing damage. This is not spell damage, by the way.
So I'll take it all.
And You must succeed on a difficulty 13 strength saving throw, which I assume you'll make.
I think that will be okay. Please, Lathander. Yeah, that will be a 26.
Very well. Then you are not knocked prone. I believe that is everything for me. That is my bonus action and my action.
All right, that is round 1. Go back to your corners. We'll be back for round 2.
This corner cam brought to you by Hero Forge. Build your custom mini today at heroforge.com.
Ah, Najim, my faithful companion. I must admit, I missed you in there. Normally, my go-to first move would have been to say, Najim, destroy her.
You know that's not allowed, Bela.
Yes, I'm aware of these tedious rules that confine my destructive potential.
At least you summoned the little shadow puppy.
Yes, Marmadark has acquitted himself well so far. He's really soaking up the damage, and I prefer that he takes it rather than me. I mean, after all, it's not like he's an actual entity, more of my subconscious idea of what a dog is.
The question is, what happens when she comes after you next?
I suspect I bleed, but let's try to avoid that as long as possible.
Or don't.
What's that, Lathander? You love even Baloth, and the light of the Morning Lord shines even in death puppies? I know. I hate hitting even any dog, even if they're evil. But in this case, I can bring more glory to you if I win this audition. I'm never alone as long as Lathander's with me. I took damage already, and that didn't feel good, but I have some battle axe swings left.
Welcome to round 2. Do you want to spend any hit dice coming out of the round?
I forgot I could do that.
Yeah, totally. You did not take any damage?
I'm at full strength. A glove has not been laid on me yet, so I think it would be foolish at this point to spend any hit dice.
I imagine that would be the case.
And that'll be 13, 12 and 13, 25. 25 points of healing. Back to good as new.
All right. Okay. This is the second round. Evelyn, again, having won initiative in round 1, it is your turn.
As Lathander teaches, one must keep your eyes on the light and not be distracted by anything, even if it's a puppy. The last part was my addition.
Evelyn will take off from the rock and fly over to be in melee range with Baloth, even though that probably provokes an attack of opportunity.
It does indeed.
It would.
I'm here flying in the air.
Okay.
That will be a 15, which I doubt is enough to hit.
He bites the air as Evelyn's cloak flutters out of his mouth.
Very well.
And I will hit Baloth with my battle axe, hopefully. That will be a 25 to hit.
25 hits, yes, that is correct.
And the damage will be 13. However, I'm going to spend a second level spell slot to add Divine Smite to that.
As you attempt to add Divine Smite to that, Baloth makes a brief motion with his hand, temporarily disrupting your divine connection with a counterspell.
Can counterspell do that to divine?
I don't think Divine
Because it's not
Smite
a
is a spell. It's a feature.
Oh, it's using a spell slot as opposed to a
Yes.
spell.
Yes.
Yes, this is why I don't like fighting paladins.
Yeah, no one does.
On the other hand, I haven't used up that third level spell slot yet. I'm going to need that, I suspect.
All right, so since it's a second level, I get 3 extra d8. So what did we say? There were 13 plus 6, so 19 plus 7, so 26, plus 2, 28 for my first hit.
28 points of damage, yes?
Yes. And I will use my bonus action now, before my second hit, if that's okay, to cast Ensnaring Strike, which is a bonus action that triggers when I hit in melee, and that is going to make a writhing mass of thorny vines appear at the point of impact, and Baloth must succeed on a strength saving throw of 15, or be restrained by the magical vines until the spell ends. And you would take 1d6 piercing damage at the start of each turn.
Very well. What was the difficulty?
Strength 15.
I make it.
Wow. Unexpected.
Yes.
But that's all right. Evelyn will shrug that off. wield her battle axe and take another hit, which is going to be a 25 to hit, which will hit, I assume.
25 does hit, yes.
And I'm going to go ahead and roll the damage, which will be 2 plus 7 is 9. And then she's going to go ahead and spend that second level spell slot again. So I said, what did I say? 9 plus 5 is 14, plus 5 is 19, plus 2 is 21.
Another 21 points of damage.
Yes.
Bailoff spits out a few teeth and says, "You're doing marvelously, my dear."
Thank you so much. That's so kind.
Marmaduke will use his full movement, and I believe with his direwolfy ways, he should be able to get back up to Evelyn.
He has
Who
50.
is in the air.
50.
She's in the air.
How much does he need to get up?
So you're attacking. You attacked him. So you would be kind of like here.
Yeah.
So to get down here, it's double movement because it's climbing.
If
So
he dashes, he'll have 100.
But yes, absolutely. You want to go straight through?
Yes, he basically wants to get next to Evelyn.
10, 23. So you're 30 there. And then, right, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yep, 30 there. 35, 40, 45, 50 puts you there.
He's within 5 feet of Evelyn there?
No, because Evelyn's
Oh,
up
yes,
here.
then he'll
so
use
he's
the
gonna
rest of his move to hop up on the rock and interpose
so
himself.
5,
essentially.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. There, that's fine. So he's here. But he has now used his action to dash.
Come to think of it, he's not going to be quite there yet. He's going to hang back.
Okay.
So that he's not going to be within range of what Balot's about to do.
Okay. How far back do you want him?
And so he's probably going to end up still down here.
Down below? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. And Evelyn is up here.
Very well.
Okay.
At which point, Baloth will cast Thunderstep.
Whoa.
That will be a con 15 to save for Evelyn.
Con will be an 11, so I fail.
Very well, then you will take.
You get a plus 8 con.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
thank
you're
you.
saved, yeah.
15.
Yeah.
15, then you make it. You will take
Huzzah!
half of this damage.
And it is spell damage again, right?
It is spell damage, yes.
So I'll take half of half?
Half of half. This is not going to go well for a sorcerer. So this will be 17 points of damage, halved and then halved. So I believe 4?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so 4.
4 points
I'll
of
take
damage.
it. Ouchies.
Also, I should note that this thunder can be heard from 300 feet away. So,
All right.
I'm sure there's some people in Waterdeep who are worried
The
about
walls reverberate. You watch as the shielded, evocated walls.
that. And Baloth is going to appear 90 feet away from Evelyn.
Okay. Where would you like to be?
Let's see. What's the furthest point away from her that I can be?
I would say back in this corner.
Yes, back in her corner. There we go.
Oh, come on.
And I still have line of sight.
You do have line of sight because she's also floating.
And that's right.
Currently.
Okay. Fantastic. Marmadark wasn't able to use the rest of his move, yes?
So we could have done Marmadark's movement. Well, it would have come after your turn anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So we can say that because you did this all in one turn,
Yes.
I would allow you to make his movement.
Oh,
you know what?
well,
Let-
then essentially Marmadark will use the rest of his move to jump up back to where
so
Baloth
he would have
was.
just made the full movement.
Okay.
And he is now engaging Evelyn again, although he doesn't attack because he's used dash.
Right.
That's good, though. It sets up his attack of opportunity if I leave.
Yeah. Sure does. All right. That is round 2. We will see you in round 3. All right. Welcome to round 3. Who would like to spend hit dice?
I'm only 4 down, so I'm going to chance it this time.
Okay. Baloth?
I remain unmarred at this stage, so I will save my hit dice.
You took a bunch of damage that time.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to use all my hit dice.
I was like,
I was
you
thinking-
do?
I
What
was like,
happened?
oh, no, yeah, now I'm looking. Yes, that's right. So, I am going to use, I believe I've got D8s, yes? 5 of those D8s.
Okay.
Balot's looking less on death's door, but still rather beat up.
Okay. Okay. Round 3. It is your turn, Evelyn.
Evelyn looks at Marmadark and says, "Don't you know I'm playing for a dog shelter?" And turns around and runs for
Very
Baloth.
There'll be an
good.
attack of
Very
opportunity
good.
that happens at that point.
That will be a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
And he will do 2d6 plus 3.
You moving directly
that
towards
is 5.
him?
8 points of piercing damage.
8 piercing. If I can get in melee,
Yeah.
I am going to go straight toward him.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 puts you here.
So instead of doing that, then I'm going to... The question is, do I take cover from Baloth or stay off the ground to stay away from Marmadark? I think that cover's not going to do me much good. So I'm going to instead hover up here.
Okay, you can just place him on top. Place her on top of there, and we'll know she's hovering. How far off the ground, just so we're clear?
How tall is Marmadark?
Marmadark is a medium-sized creature.
So that is... How tall?
So I'll stay 10, 15,
Above
15
above
feet
here?
above? Yeah.
Okay, so 20 feet, we'll say?
Sure.
Okay, great. 20 feet in the air.
Maybe 25.
25, okay. All right.
Since I don't think anyone's going to get in melee range with me, do I see any animals about? Like cats, squirrels, bats?
The area here is devoid of any sort of nature, unfortunately.
That just sucks for us all.
Mm-hmm.
Then I am going to use command as my action, a spell.
Yep.
And I am going to yell at Marmadark, "Stay!" And that's a Wisdom 15 save.
Do you know that thing about disrupting your connection to your deity? That happens now. As counterspell, causes you to lose that spell.
Unfortunately, it fizzles. Okay, that is your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Baloth, it's your turn.
Very well. Yeah, you know, let's go with my original plan. As Blight is cast, Evelyn finds the very moisture being drawn from her body, as she must make a DC 15 Constitution save, which we all know she's going to make. And how much movement will it take for Marmadark to get within range of Evelyn?
So it's 20 to get down to here, and then 25, 30, 35, 40, but she is 15 feet above here. So
Right.
even if he gets up to here, he's not going to be able to reach her.
Very well. He'll use his movement to come off there and get a little closer to Baloth.
Okay, so that's 20, 30, 40 is his movement?
50 is
50?
his movement.
45, 50 would put him there, and then...
Very well. So how did that Constitution save go?
Sorry, what was the con save?
The con save was 15, DC 15.
I roll a natural 1.
Then you will be taking this damage. So that is necrotic damage.
Don't like that.
46 points of necrotic damage.
46? I'm checking just to make sure because I thought that she had some sort of resistance to necrotic in specific, but she at least resists spell damage still. So you said, sorry, the total was what?
46, so
46,
down
so
to 23.
23. Ow, stop!
All right. And Baloth will use his full 50 feet of movement to go essentially just towards me, I think.
Okay.
There we are.
So that puts you at 50.
Now, Marmadark has used 50 feet of movement currently and hasn't spent an action.
Yes.
He's going to follow Baloth.
Okay. Around this side?
Whichever is the shortest route.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. They're the same.
Yes, I think he'd like to be here. He's going to
Okay.
interpose himself, hopefully, between any incoming Evelyns.
Okay.
And that is it for me.
That is your turn. All right, that is the end of round 3. Head back to your corners. We'll see you soon.
Today's players are wielding the Lost Odyssey Iron Legacy Collection dice sets, including a Hellforged axe guitar case. Get your collector's set at dogmite.com/ironlegacy.
Well, I don't know what's so funny, Najim. I'm being battered by a battle axe out there.
Well, that's funny.
You know, my Blight did very, very well, or it would have if Evelyn didn't have resistance to all spell damage.
That's also funny.
I kind of drew the short straw when it comes to opponents for a sorcerer, don't you think?
Well, I'm sure you have many tricks up your sleeve, Baylor.
Oh, yes, many. Though a diminishing amount, I only have so many spell slots.
Let's see how this pans out. I'm sure you'll be fine.
I'm sure.
Dear Lathander, thank you for Mr. Bailoff letting me have this opportunity to audition. Please let him forgive me for hitting him in the face so many times. Also, please heal his wounds, but only after the match so that I can win the match so that I can get the part. Also, can I please have a dog like Marmadark, but maybe less evil, but at least as well trained? Thank you, I love you.
All right, welcome to round 4.
In the break, I have used the remainder of my hit dice to
All right.
try to gain myself some hit points back. Not quite up to full strength, but
Okay.
looking okay. Looks like some of my teeth have grown back.
Okay, good.
I'm about to spend some. Feeling much better.
Okay, back up to full. Evelyn, you have the first turn.
I think as the crow flies, I can reach Bailoff. And I'm gonna get in melee
Yep.
right here.
Okay, so right above.
Yeah, just
Okay.
axe down from the heavens.
Yes. Good.
And the first will be an 18 to hit.
Very well. I will actually use shield as a reaction because you've actually rolled low enough that it will work.
Okay.
What does shield do?
Shield raises my armor class, so that no longer hits. That means I use a charge from my staff of defense, and your attack happened, but a shield basically sprung up and blocked.
So Evelyn's battle axe goes, and she's kind of like, what? And then she rears back to try again. And this time it's a 28 to hit.
Well, then there's no point in wasting that charge.
And the damage will be, that's going to be 15 plus, I'm going to use another one of those second level spell slots. So I said 15, 20, 26, and 32.
32 total.
Yes.
I'm really glad I used those hit dice.
And I'm also going to try again with Ensnaring Strike, which is a Strength 15 save.
Very well.
And that is a bonus action.
Yes, and a first level spell slot.
Smite doesn't take a bonus action, does it?
No.
Okay.
I do not save.
So vines reach up and entangle you, and you are restrained, and you'll take 1d6 damage from them at the beginning of each turn.
Very well.
Okay, that is your
Which
turn.
would be now.
Yes.
As it comes to me, I take D6.
Yep.
How much do I take?
4.
4 points. Very well. Bailoff, you're in melee range of me, right?
Yeah.
Very well. Then I think a Thunderstep is called for, which will be a DC 15 Constitution save from you.
Come on, Evelyn. 15.
You make it, so you'll take half of this damage, and then half again. 18, so 9, 4 points of damage.
A little prick. A little pinprick.
That's what they call me.
I saw that coming.
Let's see. And so Bailoff will go 90 feet away.
Okay.
Again.
Okay.
Furthest
like
way he can possibly
opposite?
go. Yes.
Hey, wait up!
That's 80. So, do you want to go? Do you want cover? Do you want it to be anywhere other than right there?
Yeah, I think cover, so that because Evelyn will not necessarily know where I have gone to. The explosion and sound happens at this end of the teleport.
Mm-hmm.
So if I appear, if I reappeared back here,
Yeah, she would have to do a perception check of sorts.
yes,
If you're trying to kind of if you're trying to keep yourself hidden, I would say just do a stealth check. You can't do a hide because it's an action, but you can do a stealth check on the other end of that teleport, and then we'll do an
Opposed perception.
opposed perception.
right. And actually, even if I expend sorcery points to quicken, I can't cast 2 spells in a round. Yes, or can I? If I raise one to a bonus action.
No.
Okay. Very well. You know what? Marmadark can actually bounce up onto that rock.
Yeah. So if you were floating here,
Yeah.
right? Because you have to be within melee range, so he can bounce up into that rock and.
And of
No,
course,
down.
He will attack.
He's rolling +5 to hit for his bite.
Off, heal!
15, that's probably not enough, is it?
No.
No, but he is engaged with you currently, so to move...
I like to imagine that Evelyn's dog training is finally taking a little effect. Like, he's getting a little confused. She's like, sit, down, off! And he's kind of like, what is this girl doing?
That's great. I love that.
And so yes, he is engaged, so moving away will provoke an opportunity attack.
Okay, and is that your turn?
That is my turn.
That is the end of round 4. We will come back for the 5th and final round. Head to your corners and we'll be right back.
You know, Najim, it's fitting that I'm playing for the Make-A-Wish Foundation because I'd like to make a wish. Najim, destroy her, please.
We're sorry. The number you're trying to call is disconnected.
Very well. So much easier to just wish my opponents into oblivion, but very well.
I should not joke. I learned that from a bard. You'll be fine. Just do what you do best, which is destroy everything.
Yes, destruction. That's what's called for. Unfortunately, she seems singularly resistant to spells of all kinds.
Perhaps use your own hands this time.
But they're so delicate.
I appreciate you saying that I'm doing a good job, but 5 whole rounds to take down a sorcerer? I'm embarrassed. I can't believe that he's been able to take so many hits. I really got to give him a big one this time. That dog, it just keeps distracting me. So cute.
Welcome to the 5th and final round. Good fight so far. Hit dice are being spent. I can see. Evelyn, how many do you want to spend?
I spent 2 more, because that's all I need to be at full.
Okay. You are back up to full. Bailoff?
I have spent mine, so yes, it's not going to get me even to half hit points, but yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, Evelyn, it is your turn.
Well, did Bailoff roll stealth?
Did you roll that stealth check?
I have not rolled that stealth
Let's
check.
do that.
Right?
Give
Hold
me
on
a
one
perception check.
Nope. That's a big old 6. Beat that.
I think I already did. I
She
rolled
already
an 8.
did. Okay, so you are aware that he has appeared behind the rock.
I see you.
I'm hiding behind here, Marmadark. Don't let her know. Oh.
Well, I can't reach in one turn. And he's not going to come in melee range with me if he can avoid it. So I guess I spend my final turn. Well, let's see. One moment. I have some spells of my own, you know. I can do spells, but none that I don't have to hit with anymore. Well, I'm going to cast Command on...
What's the range on it, just real quick?
It is 60 feet.
Okay.
So I guess I can't reach Bailoff.
No.
Unless I move. I
Yes,
have
unless you
movement.
move. Of course you do. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna fly up to the center of the ring.
Yeah.
Because this is my last turn. That's all I can do.
Sure. And what does that look like when Evelyn, as Evelyn kind of floats up to the top and she's overlooking the battlefield?
Well, her wings are on her boots, so she's kind of just being propelled up, and she's holding her battle axe. I like to think her cape is flowing. And I'm trying to think of one word for Bailoff. I'm going to command surrender.
Okay.
And that is a Wisdom 15.
Okay, so before you make that roll, because that's clutch, it's a clutch roll, attack of opportunity from Marmadark, real quick, and then we will resolve the...
This will be at +5. Oh, he misses terribly.
Good boy.
His jaws snap on empty air as Evelyn leaves.
Okay. What's the saving throw?
Wisdom 15.
Wisdom 15.
Counterspell, I think.
Fair enough.
All right. Good.
It was worth a try.
It was worth a try.
Of course.
And then, for my final... Well, all my high-level spell slots are gone. But... I might... Yeah, and I know that this is the final round of combat. But, just in case, Baloth is going to quicken Mirror Image. Cast that as a bonus action. So, suddenly, duplicates of Baloth appear beside him as he strides out. You see, Evelyn, I end up winning because there are more of me.
Oh, man. I tried so hard.
I'm hoping that the Dungeon Master takes that into account. Look how many there are of me.
But who is the Dungeon Master really, other than the Morning Lord Lathander, who shines from within all of us? Have you heard the good word of Lathander?
I've heard the good word of Lathander.
We could sit down and talk
ad
more about
nauseam.
Lathander anytime if you'd like to.
I'd like to offer you some pamphlets about Grazit. And you know what? Since I have this anyway, I can cast a cantrip during this conversation. I cast Mind Sliver.
Okay.
Intelligence 15 save.
I rolled 16, so.
Very well. You do not take any damage.
Great.
Okay.
All 4 Baloths look nonplussed.
And is that your turn?
That is my turn.
That is the end of the fight. We will get to the result in just a minute.
This result brought to you by Noble Knight Games. Buy, sell, trade your tabletop collectibles at nobleknight.com.
Uriah, I do not envy Jason's position back there trying to crown a winner here. I mean, round 5 could be anyone's game.
I mean, it was really hard to call. We saw a lot of things replicating themselves, floating, a lot of misses, a lot of dispelling things, but a definite winner, that's going to be hard.
Yeah, I mean, counterspell, knocked out command, mind sliver, didn't hit. It's really hard to say. Maybe you just go with sheer number of combatants left on the battlefield?
That's possible. You could also peek in the corner. They had some great corner advice and theatrics. Praying to the gods, asking the genies. I do not envy Jason. It's going to be a tough decision.
No. Yeah, all right, well, I'll let you figure that out. Actually, the gen offered me a gen, so I'll be doing that.
Incredibly tough fought fight, incredibly hard to score. They were even going into the 5th and final round. And the 5th round was actually quite, I don't want to say uneventful, but it was difficult to score. Lots of things happened on both sides that were even. But the winner and going on to the semi-final round, Baloth.
Aha! I am most gratified. And Evelyn, I have good news. You passed the audition and I'm willing to sign you to a long-term performance contract at the Black Pits. You don't have an agent, do you?
Only Lathander.
Oh, perfect. Yes. I think that's best if you don't have representation. That's good.
These post-fight interviews are brought to you by Chad Rowe Tattoos.
So a lot of people are going to be upset about that decision. Evelyn, Lathander, together, fought a hard-fought fight, didn't go your way. Do you feel like that was the right call? Do you feel like you were robbed? How are you feeling right now?
I think it's really difficult to pick a winner in D&D regardless, so I do not envy that choice. I think that it could have gone either way. As far as I understand, the final round really came down to like who was able to do the most stuff, because we were both in a position where we didn't have much available to us. And even though the choice wasn't for me, which I understand, I'm really proud of using command in that final round, because if it had hit, if the counterspell hadn't gone off, that would have clinched me the round. And it was the only thing in that situation that I could do with my action that would make any difference. So I'm still feeling really good about the round, but I understand. I hope people are upset though.
I'm sure people will be upset. And like you said, you did the best that you could. That's all you can ask in those scenarios. So you can go home with a clear conscience. You left nothing on the table. Congratulations on a great fight, and better luck next time.
Thanks so much.
You got it.
Mark, an incredible victory for Baloth, and of course, Marmadark?
Marmadark. It was Marmaduke, and then I realized Marmadark is funnier, so I went with Marmadark.
How are you feeling after winning?
Whew. Well, it was a nail biter because I think Baloth won just because he managed to end up with his head still attached to his body. Let's face it, that battle axe and all those smites nearly took him down a few times. I'm really glad that build of him has tough as a feat because he needed every single hit point.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you feel about this matchup? I mean, definitely tough that all spell damage was halved, and a Constitution saving throw is most of your spell saves.
Yeah. I mean, certainly I was very glad to have Marmadark with me because otherwise, pretty much any damage that I'm dishing out was magic-based, being a sorcerer. So it was mostly trying to keep away from Evelyn. Thunderstep, of course, came in very handy for that. And we saw at the very end, a little bit of showmanship with the mirror image. That's what Baloth's all about. He is Baloth the Entertainer.
Absolutely. And Baloth, after this, is he going back to the pits? Is he recruiting more while he's in this competition?
Oh, I think so. I mean, he's always recruiting for the Black Pits. And as we've seen, Evelyn has now signed a long-term performance contract there, so she's really going to be bringing in the audience and putting those bums in the seats.
All right, well, let's hope she read her contract, and congratulations and good luck in the next bout.
Thank you so much.
This tournament update brought to you by Satine's Quest. Sign up for your ultimate RPG vacation experience at satinesquest.com. Join us next week for our first semifinal match. Nora Ibrahim's Esmeralda versus Alicia Marie's Barrowin.